Chi Creation, The Tree of Life, Part 7. So, we've got another example of these, which shows you the black hole. So that one with the sunlight within it, or the blue sunlight, and then the black hole. But also with the blue sunlight, it's got like the yellow sunlight on outside. So it's like that inside is different to the outside in that way. We could say it's water on inside, but also it could still just be the blue chakra, like going through its different frequencies until, it's made the realm. So in that previous episode, we could see like it looked like a cutout, like somebody had photoshopped it out. It looked like the same colour as the background, but these look more authentic. I think we saw a similar one to one of these earlier in a different episode. I'm not sure if it is the same, but in terms of what we can see with this anyway, that we spoke about it being ice or whatever, but in terms of like this blue glow, I mean like this the aura, but also like the edgier vision. So when we spoke about like the bubbles of consciousness and perceivable and imperceivable light, this is see-through, so it's perceivable through there, and that's apparently imperceivable. But from this angle, we can see it, so we can see what's there in that sense. It's almost like when you get the eye migraine and you can see that, like when it gets to the edgier vision, all that kind of thing. Or when you look at a bubble and you can see the light on the outside reflecting. So, I wanted this one because as we see the realm, the expansion and contraction area, but then because we've got like the glass dome, and then like how many domes we've got and stuff like, so it transitions to this area, and so it's like it's squishy and it can like, so like even that realm's like it's squashed, but inside, like there's so much between the realm and the exterior that it's got like it moves with it in a way, and it's like that all that compression area, right, is available so that it doesn't crush this. It take like an immense, way more powerful than what these can grow in that kind of sense, and because they're reflecting what it is. So like the universe, it's got the same limitation as what these have. And so as the bubbles, they move and contract around each other and such, but stay intact. It's just like this blue area where this place of existence exists. So in the pockets between the spirit realm is created a place which can experience time and space. So the chakra becomes its own time and space. Almost like when you were born right? That's when time began to begin for you, you know what I mean? I ask people it sometimes, like, when did time begin? You know what I mean? But from your own perspective, it only happened when you were born. And so in the same sense, it's kind of like what happens there. It's like, you know, time didn't exist until it became something. So that's like the beginning of time for each individual realm. Which is why it raises up, because it's creating that space in the spirit realm, because it's amongst the spirit realm. So it becomes, it's almost like, you know, another one could begin there or such. So when we look at this one, we see all the other realms, all the other universes, and they're all connected to this one. So in terms of like, one of the episodes I considered that when we look at the night sky, we're seeing like through the tunnel of a tree, and the very base of a tree is the sunlight which all realms share. So you see here, like the light going up each pathway, all leading to the realm in the center. So in terms of, I don't know, we all share that one sun in that kind of sense. It's kind of like, you know, each realm could have its own sun anyway, you know? It kind of makes sense that way as well, but at the same time, you know, when you look at an eclipse and it looks like a hole and it's being covered up, and it's kind of like almost like that. It's kind of like that's like the base of a tree in that kind of way, and that light is being covered up somehow. It could be another one of these, like seemingly imperceivable, but it crosses the vision, like it blocks the tunnel in that kind of way. It's stuff to speculate, you know. There's a lot to go on it and stuff like. But I mean, it also shows like, you know, how everything comes from that one source in that way, and also that everything's connected as well. There's an abundance of them there. And a teardrop shape as well. So you see it there. You see when we think about the wave, it lifts up and it creates that window. And so it's like that same shape. We spoke about the teardrop in waves of love, didn't we? And so we're seeing that kind of how that pattern makes its relevance. So it's going along with the flat plane as well. So when the wave makes that pattern, it's doing it in the same alignment as well. See, it's another one about shape. So like the color, I don't know if it's like referencing like the different frequencies of color and stuff, like infrared and all that kind of thing. It could be like an energetic field, you know. So that like squeezes around us, like you know, depending on the shape of the external, any pressure that comes in, and then that can like resist it before the pressure actually affects what's going on inside. And so all this stuff about like Andromeda gonna collide with another galaxy, you know, Trixali or whichever and stuff, or our own. It's this seems to debunk it because it's showing you that everything's got its own place, and you know, if things come closer together and stuff, like it's not going to affect the internal world, the world which kind of you know that kind of part of it. It's not going to affect the spirit world either. It's like you know everything will just move around and around each other in perfect harmony, basically. And so, again, when we think about the water, our sunlight catches in all the peaks and troughs. It's going to create in that pattern as well. I mean, it's difficult to say what it is. But because it looks like water, then you know there is that matchup when we you know you go through the series and we've got all the reflection aspects to it. So like the surface of the water and stuff. So like as a picture of the universe in that way. I can't tell what that is. Also, like the brightness on the outside. So it's going to appear like a sun on the outside, and this is potentially what's in the inside in that narrative. So, you know, everything looks like a star. So, you know, this would look like a star from a distance, but within it is like, you know, a whole world to explore and stuff. The same as orbs. When you see an orb, it looks like a sun, but at the same time, it's got an entire world within it. So, and that's the same as when you interact with people as well. It's like you're merging with their world in that kind of way. green for heart chakra. So I like the light and the perspective lines. And we look at it going through water, or we look through the tree trunk, and it's got that split line that creates like that perspective as well. Sometimes there's more than one split. It's supposed to be green, like that. Again, it looks at all the stars in that kind of way. It depends. It might still be in the process. You still get you to feel the stars over there, you know. As we've seen it depicted in other ones where they go all the way around or whichever. But is it the last picture for flowers? Is this one? But hold on a second. I noticed this. If it'll focus. So you got the wood nut. It's the side view, but you see the splits. So it's created the flat planes in that kind of way. So, you know, the functionality, how it works within even just a wood nut and such. Right, you know. It just shows you like that function of chakras and how they fit in that kind of way. But yeah, rather than going on to the next pictures, I'm going to make them onto the next video. So thank you for watching, and I'll get on with the next ones. Nice one. Cheers.